Yo, yo. Y'all make some noise. We got Chevy in the building. What's going on, mama? Good to see you.
Oh, just grinding every day, living the
Yeah,
dream.
living that good dream, that photography, that entrepreneur life.
Yes.
Yes, hold on. I gotta do one more time for my entrepreneurs out there. Y'all know what that is, right? Okay, we know. All right, all right. So how you been? How you been?
I've been good. I've just been answering a lot of inquiries for next year, so crossing fingers, to book
Nice.
dates, but
Okay.
a lot of surprise proposals come up too. So that's
Okay.
been the question.
Okay. You said surprise proposals, like last minute proposals and stuff like that, eh?
No, so like for us photographers and videographers, we call them surprise proposals just because, like, oh, like it's happening, it's a surprise, like all the things. And so,
Mm-hmm.
really looking forward to the proposal that's happening this Saturday in Dallas.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wow. Can you
Mhm.
kind of give us a hint of where it might be in Dallas, like the area?
Uptown.
Okay. Uptown. Okay. Wow. Off McKinney area.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Can't give too much away.
Fancy. Okay. Fancy, fancy. Yes, yes. All right. So that's really cool. I'm glad you're getting those bookings in because I know even with COVID-19, it just kind of, oh, by the way, you two don't scream me for that word, but C-19, I know it kind of cut a lot of business out, especially, for everybody pretty much, like all the DJs, all my photographer friends, all the business just kind of like was on pause, except for a lot of places in Texas. I was really surprised because everything paused for like a good 3 months, and then my phone and email started ringing up again. It says, "Hey, we're gonna do events again, but we're just doing 50% capacity." I'm
Right.
just like, "Wow, okay, well that's very interesting." And it's funny because I was just about to move. I was making a decision on whether I should move out of Texas or somewhere around Texas. I don't know, but that was gonna happen, and then COVID-19 hit, and I was like, "Well, maybe I should just stay my ass here." I don't know. Maybe I haven't finished whatever I had to do here in Dallas, Texas. But let's get to about you. So, I mean, I know where you're from, but tell everybody else where you're from.
I was born and raised in little Wichita Falls, Texas, y'all. Like, you have to kind of look at the map to find it, but you'll see it. Right, right.
Yeah, it's somewhere up there.
Yeah.
And so, born and raised in Wichita Falls, and you've been there your whole life too, right?
Yeah, until like about 7 years ago was whenever I moved to Denton, which is the best decision of my life. I love
Okay,
and also led me to the man that I'm with today. So I mean, good one.
that's what's up. I met your. Are y'all just boyfriend and girlfriend, or y'all about to?
It'll happen soon, I promise.
Okay,
And
that's
then
what's up. Well,
all this, like, oh look, like,
if you need a wedding DJ, I got you on lock. Just letting you know. But man, that's really cool. I'm glad that, and if y'all don't know, Wichita Falls, small city. Me and Chevy both grew up there, and I was just dying to get out of that place. I mean, I love the people there, but it's like you being in photography, me being in music, it just made sense to, if we're gonna expound on this and really like capitalize off of this business, we have to broaden our horizons and move out of like a small city to where the market is, to where the money is. So yeah, I'm glad we both moved out, and now look, we're both doing really good, and I'm proud of both of us. Like we just had to keep grinding, and man, just keep it moving. So I never knew that you were into photography. So what made you want to get into photography?
so it's like a really crazy and funny story because Burke Burnett is obviously, where I graduated from, all the things, and there was
Hmm.
AFJRTC, and I was like gun ho, I'm gonna join the Air Force. Like this is how it's gonna go. Back in 2010,
Hmm.
a little bit different to join the military. So because I had
Hmm.
you would have to have like a medical release and everything. And I didn't want to waste my just hoping and praying that maybe I'll be able to get in. But
Mm,
and just from there escalated into the photography realm of like, okay, so this is probably where I should go. And then
yeah.
2013 is whenever I officially became a business. I did a lot of shadowing with a lot of the other photographies, like businesses in the area, making sure like, do I want to do newborns? Do I want to do weddings? All the things. And don't get me wrong,
Hmm.
I love babies, but I'm not that person that is gonna spend like 2 hours. Like, let me just make
Hmm.
sure this is all right. No, let's do the creative wedding chaos day. Like that's definitely my vibes.
So you're good at working under pressure.
Heck yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm kind of the opposite. I come prepared. If y'all see my kit, I have like 7 different microphones, all different kinds of speakers and all that. But it's like when it comes to the chaos, dealing with wedding planners is like that. When y'all have you ever heard of Bridezilla? Y'all, that show is real. That stuff really does happen in real life. I have seen some of the most chaotic things happen, and it's just so much pressure to the point. It's like, I like a little bit of pressure, but when it just like gets to the point where you have a whole set list of songs to play, intro song, bride and groom, all that, and then they just want to change it as soon as you're about to play it. They send you a text message, hey, scrap all those songs. Here's the new songs. And I'm like, we're out in the middle of a farm and there's no Wi-Fi out here. And I'm playing on CDJs, no laptop. I don't have no way to play this. So yeah, it's the pressure. If you could deal with it in this business, then I mean, you're doing pretty damn good because I don't know. I like it, but it's just sometimes, especially with these weddings. Oh my goodness.
And
How,
if you can't handle the pressure, that's when it really gets to you because, like you mentioned,
mm,
villas. I've been fortunate enough to maybe have two my entire career. I'm
mm,
so happy that I've only had two.
yeah.
And you know as well as I do that whenever we do meet with potential clients, you want to vibe with them, and what a lot of people don't realize, client based is we can actually say no too. You know,
Hmm.
we feel like you're not good, like our ideal client or anything like that, then we have a right to say no just as much as you have a right to say no to us as well. And I think a lot
Hmm.
of kind of forget that. And coming prepared. Oh my gosh, have you ever seen like a photographer's bag just wheeled in with like 5 different lenses and 3 bodies? Like, literally
Hmm.
good to go.
Yeah, you guys look like you're about to shoot a commercial for the NFL sometimes.
Like, straight up, if you're doing video, I mean,
Hmm.
I have 4 video lights. I have 3 camera bodies. I have 4 lenses. Like,
Hmm.
gonna go wrong. If something does, I have something to replace it real quick, and we're good to go.
Yeah, I tell you, Murphy's Law is inevitable. Like if you have multiple lenses, my DJ friends out there, 2 laptops. If you can't have 2 laptops, get you an iPad, have Spotify ready to go. I'm telling you, lifesaver, lifesaver, life motherfucking saver, bro. Have backups. Oh my goodness. I had to learn that the hard way starting out doing my first few weddings. I think I had well, let's get to this next part about. We'll skip a couple questions. I want to get to this, but we talk about being prepared. I've had maybe, let's see, I don't really do that many weddings. I do more like private events and nightclub events like that. But I've had, out of all the weddings I've done, I've only had one wedding where it was just like, it was a bomb. Well, I wouldn't say total bomb, but halfway there, it just like,
Oh
and
no.
it's because I wasn't prepared. The second laptop, the iPad, I'm telling y'all, get that. My firmware update happened on the same week of the wedding, and I usually update every month. I didn't update the firmware, and I'm playing on turntables, vinyl. My USB wasn't reading off the software, and I was playing. It was either the wobble or Cupid shuffle. Oh my goodness! Imagine this music just
Oh,
cut, and I'm looking around like my laptop is still going, but the firmware is not updated. So it's like panic mode. I was sweating balls, and I was like, thank God the venue had house music, and the house music had Spotify. We just started playing wedding music playlist. So yeah, definitely come prepared. So have you ever had a moment in your photography career where it's just like a total bombing moment where you're just like, oh, and how did you deal with it?
Ooh. This was probably when I was like starting, like that first couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I actually had, oh my gosh, I actually had a camera, like basically the little flower girl. She didn't realize it or anything. She didn't realize my video camera was right there. She knocked it over and the lens was stuck. The body
Mm.
worked, but the lens was stuck. At that time, I was just starting out video, and things like that. And shout out to the photographer who had a backup camera that had video capability, let me
Mm-hmm.
use their body for that. And I'm on the phone calling my friend. This is all in the middle of nowhere. Like,
Mm.
it's a good 45 minutes just from, like, let's say Frisco, Plano area. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, who can I call that has like a camera that I know I can use? So I called them and she drove all the way out there and everything, got me that camera. So whenever the photographer's camera died, I started using that camera and it lasted all the way until the end. And to this day, the couple, and I told her, like, hey, I want to make sure that you got everything, and she saw the little girl knock it over, so she knew.
Oh,
But she still to this day rants and raves about me to anybody and everybody that she can. It makes my heart.
yeah.
She knew that I gave it my 110% on the wedding to make sure I still captured all of those moments for her.
Man, see, that's a blessing. And see, you dealt with adversity, and look at that. Now you're getting praise. I bet that review was like a crazy long paragraph. Are you on the Knot or Wedding Wire or something like that? Or
I have reviews on Facebook, Google, Wedding Wire, and the Knots. Um,
okay.
Thumbtack. I have some on Thumbtacks.
Yeah, I use Thumbtack sometimes. It's a hit or miss for the DJ community. If you guys are listening right now, Chevy, I'm gonna put her information in the description. Like she said, she is on Thumbtack, Google, Facebook. Make sure to check her out. Give her that 5-star review once you book with her first. Get that good photo shot. She's gonna take care of you if you're getting married. If you know a friend that's getting married, you got your photographer right here on the program, 1's and 2's. So, uh, my next question is. Hold on, I got my notes here on my backup laptop, girl. I'm telling you, they come in handy. So it seems like you just focus on weddings. Do you do anything else outside of weddings, or because I look at your profile, it seems like most of it's just all weddings.
So for the longest time, I really tried to break into the like high school senior portrait market, which I still
Mm,
some high school seniors. Sometimes I even get college seniors just because of Denton being University of North Texas and Texas Women's University kind of situation.
right.
But I get mostly engagements and definitely weddings. I want to say probably on average I do like family pictures, but I only do it for the couples that I've shot their wedding, so they're grandfathered in. So I don't mind like capturing their continued love story, but
Hmm.
if I don't know you and I haven't shot you before, then there's a chance that I may not do your family pictures.
Right, right. Yeah, that's pretty good. So when you say family pictures, like you're talking about like I mean, of course,
Like,
so you don't do family pictures unless you have to do their wedding pictures.
yeah, like I want to make sure that I have that connection with my
Okay.
clients. And so I love being able to just continue, whether it's maternity or, Christmas
Hmm.
pictures for them after the fact. I've already established that connection and now it's going to
Hmm.
snowball into other opportunities. Um,
Exactly.
when it comes to just like a straight, oh yeah, like I'm looking to get holiday pictures, family, da da da,
Hmm.
have that connection with people who are inquiring, you know, and it's very far and few in between of people who are truly inquiring for me, you know, like,
Mm-hmm.
so I just, it's one of those things I want to start at the base and definitely get that, you know, like couple inside of, oh yeah, like they're fun and bubbly. This is where we should definitely do your family pictures, you know, oh,
Right.
we're rustic in country or whatever, like let's go over here.
Mm-hmm.
I like just the intimacy of it with your clients, being able to
Right.
definitely like hone in on what they love and what they like and not having to second guess every time when somebody else inquires for family pictures or maternity.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good. You're building really good relationships. And, you know, a picture, a very good photograph can just like hold memories for life. You
Yeah.
know, as DJs, we make the moments, but you guys capture the memories.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you guys are very, very important. So yeah, when you're building relationships like that, that's really good. Another thing I want to talk about, you spoke about family. This is something that's very interesting. I think it's really cool that you have your own business, your own company catered toward the LGBTQ community. So I think that's really cool because I don't really, and you know, we're keeping it nitty gritty on this program. I don't see too many companies that specialize in that and that do it well. So, what made you want to tap into that market and just provide like an excellent service for that community?
So, like, I mean, you and I both know back home, small town, everything like that, where we knew
Hmm.
we're meant for something bigger and better.
Right.
Yes, I was liked and loved by everyone. You know, I was that middle person in high school. Like everybody knew me, but I wasn't like always hanging out with the popular people. I just knew everybody kind of situation. But
Right.
I still felt different. I still felt lonely. I felt like I didn't belong. Like nothing,
Mm.
like didn't feel like, oh, this is where I should. And so once I moved to Denton,
Hmm.
and being surrounded by just open-minded people experiencing new things, you know, uh,
Hmm.
that's when I started getting inquiries for the LGBTQ plus community.
Hmm.
Not only that, I want to say in 2015, I could be wrong, that was the first time I ever got to photograph the sweet gay couple. I still talk to them now, and I literally just did his niece's wedding like a couple months ago.
Hmm. Wow, that's
And
really cool.
like at that time it wasn't acceptable,
Yeah.
um, so for them it was their 1 year anniversary, quote unquote, of marriage. But
Hmm.
so that was the first time I ever truly got to photograph a couple and hear the insights that they kind of were going through. Because I tell everybody, as an ally, I never say that, yes, I know what you're going through, because that's a lie. I could, if you
Mm.
divorce, like divorced parents or anything like that, I can understand and I can relate to that, but I can never
Hmm.
understand the pain that people go through whether it's a wedding venue or even a restaurant turns away a community couple. And
Mm.
and so as time just kind of continued on, a lot of my family members were coming out, being in the
Hmm.
and hearing how they went through some things. And then I think the last like little bit was um the sweet bride was looking on one of the Facebook groups, like, is there just a community out there to where I can be like, I can ask these questions and be able to just find friendly vendors. And
Hmm.
within like 5 minutes of that post, I get my best friend Brittany like, oh my gosh, you need to make this a group, you need to make this a thing. And so like here I am making sure I'm not taking anybody's names, and I created the North Texas LGBTQ Wedding Network out of that. So other
Hmm.
couples in the community can find and talk to other, couples who may already be married who are trying to find vendors, whatever the case may be, but they're in a safe, very, very safe space. They don't have to feel like they're being judged by
Hmm.
any. And, it just, the story of it all just really warms my heart because now here we
Yeah.
are, 2021. And, like, you want to make sure you get your ideal clients. You want to be, the bottom line is you want to be authentic. People want you. They want your authentic, like self in all of it, whether
Hmm.
it's, oh yeah, like I treat the community members, or I get the DJs, I get the music vibes of what you like. Either way, like, oh my gosh, you love anime, I love anime. Like
Exactly.
things, they want to know you, and
Yep.
you hide from them, the more that they're gonna question, like, do I really like want you to be my mentor, or do I really
Hmm.
be potentially a friend, in my life types.
Right.
So, like as business owners, it's and whenever it comes to inclusivity, like there's also more. It doesn't just cater to the LGBTQ community.
Hmm.
Let's be honest, it also reaches out to the Asian community, Hispanic community, Black community. Like, I mean, inclusive is a very broad spectrum. Even disabled. I have a couple that I got to do their wedding a year and a half ago where she has
Hmm.
palsy,
Oh,
and
wow.
it's not very common to see, oh, here's somebody in a dress in a wheelchair. How does it, like that's the dress
That's
that
true.
there's not representation. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it all just kind of snowballs all together. But back to
Hmm.
the city part, that's kind of where it all just started. And I knew for where we belonged that I didn't belong there. I felt like there was just more to it. And once
Hmm.
I just knew that this is what I was meant to do and meant to be, and provide a safe space for others.
Right. And that is, make sure y'all follow Chevy. Again, I'm gonna put her description in the description below. But that's a very telling story because that is such something that's been needed for a long, 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 long time. And no matter if you're gay, straight, black, white, doesn't matter. I think that everybody should have an opportunity to have the best wedding of their lives, to have the best portraits, to get the best quality service. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, a safe space. And I'm glad that you're actually making you. This is actually a movement you have to help progress our society. You know what I'm saying? To help people feel more comfortable, and so they don't feel shy. Like, because I feel that maybe that community, and like you said, I'm not going to use the word saying I know what you're going through because I really can't relate, but I can definitely sympathize. It's like when they're looking for weddings, maybe they think, oh, they have to second guess it because, we're not going to be accepted the same way. So we're not even going to have a public wedding. We're just kind of a private. But when you have people like Chevy over here that's saying, hey, no, we're going to make your wedding look just as good, if not better, than a normal wedding. So let's get it going. Like that's so cool. You know what? That's really cool because it's like you're giving back into the community and you're providing just this, like I said again, like this space for them that they've been wanting for so long. So I definitely want to like help out, promote your group as much as I can because I think that is something that we definitely need here. And that's really good. I'm glad you're doing that. So I got to give you a hand clap for that. You know what I mean? You get some hand claps and some sirens on that. Man, that is so cool, man. I gotta put that in description. Do you guys? So, is it like an organization, or is it like a LLC, or?
It's actually just a Facebook group for now.
Okay.
I would love to make it into where it is an organization. There's a lot of
Hmm.
back end for that. But until then, it's kind of just in the baby steps of it. It's the little bitty thing there.
That
And
is so cool.
I
Is
mean,
it just you doing it by yourself?
yeah, I will. Yeah, I do a lot of it myself. I do ask,
Oh my goodness.
with it in general, but
Yeah.
it is me, especially in the Facebook group. I
Hmm.
care if you are a business, whether you are an ally or whether you're a community member. I have it where,
Hmm.
you do have to be in business for a year. You do have to be in the wedding industry for a year before you are accepted, just because these couples have already gone through a lot already. They already
Hmm.
feel like they have to come out to every vendor anyways to see if
Hmm.
they are like willing to serve them. But like, I don't, and not, no offense to any beginners out there. I want you to work hard. I want you to grind. I want you to do all those things. But just know, whenever it does come to the group, you need to have some experience because they're relying on you. Like a lot of couples will do research, but they know specifically that okay, in this group, they've been in the industry for more than a year. They have, and then from there, it's up to them whether they like the venue style, the photography style, like the catering, whatever, to that extent of it.
That's good. Okay. Well, y'all heard it first. You need at least a year of experience. I have to go back into the whole acceptance thing with the LGBT because I had something. I'm not gonna say the company where this meeting happened, but it really just kind of like how when you hear somebody say something, it just kind of like, ooh, like, did you really just say that? Like, what, bro? Like, WTF? You know what I mean? I was at this company that it has a lot of vendors there, right? So it was like, there's a table full of DJs. I don't know anybody here. I just saw something and this is a credible company, nationwide known, whatever, right? Had to pay to get into this thing, right? So I'm here chilling with DJs, got my suit on. There's flower people, caterers. We're all in the building and we're networking like crazy. So we're sitting down. The guest speaker comes out, starts talking to us, and then they bring up the LGBTQ thing. And it's funny because this was back in 2015, I would say coming into 2016, right? When I really started kind of hitting heavy on more of the private and wedding gigs. Yeah. And they brought up the LGBTQ and literally everybody, and this is a room full of almost 200 people, and everybody seemed just oblivious to how to approach it. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe there were so many people there that said that they would not accept LGBTQ weddings. And I was just like, I mean, why not? Like, I mean, if you think about it from a financial standpoint, it's still money, but it's like they're human beings like us. I don't know what the deal is, but yeah, it just the energy in that room when they brought up that topic just made me feel like, okay, something is definitely missing right here. Like in this spectrum, something is missing. And then hearing you saying you just started a community that's growing vastly, it's like, oh, ding ding, we found it. So that's really good. And I'm hoping that in the next few years, like soon, that it'll just expound and become so big that it just changes a lot more than just Texas, the whole nation. I'm wishing you to go to the stars and beyond with this. Like, this is good.
That would be awesome. And like I tell everybody, I'm learning every day. I don't know anything from the get-go of, like this is this and this is that. Like some like things that I'm like, okay, explain this to me. I haven't heard this, yet. Just
right.
Give me knowledge.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Tell us about like what from your photography. How long have you been doing photography again? You said 2014, right?
2013 is whenever I officially became a business, but I started back in 2010.
Okay. Wow. So yeah, almost 11 years. Yeah, that's a long time. Out of that time period, what has been like the highest moment in your career? Like just a moment where you were just like, wow, like this is just the best moment so far.
Can I say like 2021? Like weirdly, I know like 2020 was like the crappiest of the crappiest years, but like I've had people book me in the past and everything, but for future dates. But I am so lucky to finally be in the niche and have couples see me authentically that I have at least 10 weddings booked for next year alone. My brain is like, what is happening?
Yes. Congrats.
Like there's that moment when all the pain that happened the past year and a half, was prevalent and now we're seeing happiness definitely showing. And then I guess another one, aside just from that little moment, is whenever couples review us, like, oh my God, they're like, oh yeah, like they got all this and we felt so comfortable, da da da, like that just my heart explode.
Isn't that such a good feeling when you see those 5 stars and those long paragraphs of just exclamation marks after every sentence. It says, "Oh my God, this is so amazing! Wow!" And even better when they put a picture on it too, showing them. You know, that's just like wow. That's so amazing. So such a lot of good moments, a lot of high moments. But I know we as business owners, of course, we go through the lows where we just feel like, is this really going to happen? So tell us about a moment that you just maybe if you feel like you want to share like a moment that you had in your career that just made you feel like, man, I just want to give up, but you overcame it. And how did you overcome it?
I want to say, like, so having started the business back in the Wichita Falls, Burke Burnett area and moving
Mm-hmm.
is like starting from scratch. Like I didn't
Mm-hmm.
have clients here. I knew some people, but nothing to the extent of, oh yeah, like I already have such a great following. Like here's all the things. So
Yeah.
the first couple years of living in Denton, I was really questioning myself. Like I was still working a full-time job. I was also like getting my associate's degree in graphic design. So like there were other things that were falling into place, but
Mm-hmm.
really was just like is what I'm doing worth it? Like I don't see much happening. Like I hope that things are gonna turn around. I mean, I would cry. Like I
Mm-hmm.
would cry.
Yes, I know the feeling.
And we care as business owners so much about our own business, and we care about our clients that we just want to make sure we're like, oh, well, they didn't pick me. Like maybe there's something wrong with me. Like we can't help but think that. Like
Mm-hmm.
being so young into the business and still learning all the things. I mean, that's where all that was coming to play. And I was like, I don't even know like how to get on vendor list because they already had their preferred vendors. Like
Mm-hmm.
who have been working in the area way longer than I just moved here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it really just took a lot of networking, a lot of late nights, and a lot of just constantly like, oh, I'm available for your date. Oh, I'm available for your date. And just hoping that, like the clients would see me and see my
Mm-hmm.
work and finally like get them on the phone. And when I get them on the phone, they're like, oh my gosh, you know a lot. I'm like, I try.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, it really just, it's that little slope, like snowball that finally just hit the slopes and became something greater.
Yeah. And so you just kept with it because there's a lot of people that start a business and the first 6 months they're like, oh, I'm not getting any money. It's like, bro, to be honest, sometimes when you start a business, depending on what it is, you may not see your first check within the first 5 years. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just being dead honest. Like as a DJ, I didn't start getting money till 2.5 years into this thing. And it was just small checks, gas money. I was doing it for free for 2 years. Then I busted off and got a big wedding. And then I was like, okay, price going up, y'all. And then, of course, like you said, the vendor list, that's a big, big thing. So, y'all, if you got a business, definitely get in with a network. You cannot do this on your own. I know it seems like with business owners, we're like, oh, I did it on my own. It's like, well, you know, people make things happen for people. So you have to be in a network to get your net worth up, to get the cash flow coming, vendor list, residency list for DJs out there. Get on those. You know what I mean? Even if they start small, you stay in it for a few months, you can raise your price if you're good enough. You know what I mean? I've been on residencies for like a year or two at the same club, but my prices ended up doubling, damn near tripling because I'm bringing in more and more and more and more and more people so I can raise the price to whatever the heck I want. You know what I mean? And it's consistent money because you're on a list. So yeah, definitely take a hold of that. Photographers, DJs, again, don't think you just got to be out here doing it by yourself. Network, 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 bro. People are nice out here and people may be looking for you. You never know. You never know. You could be that, like you said, you might have a taste in anime. I like what's the new hot? Oh, Attack on Titan. Oh my gosh. Speaking of Attack on Titan, I have to put it above Dragon Ball Z. I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z for so long, but Attack on Titan is just it's just right there, right above DBZ. Oh man, that last episode. Have you know Attack on Titan, right?
It's on my list of watching. Like,
oh, you gotta watch it.
I finally just got done watching Demon Slayer. I mean, come on now. Like, it's
Demon Slayer.
What we do, you know, we don't have a lot of like off time to definitely have it because I'm a subtitle person. I know other people on sub, so I need to like watch. Like, I can't work and have anime in the background. I need to actually.
Yeah, I definitely feel you gotta. Now, I just wrote down Demon Slayer. I'm gonna put that on my list when I got time to watch it on my Crunchyroll. But yeah, definitely watch Attack on Titan. That show, wow, that last episode. I'm not gonna spoil anything for you, but it's just so deep. It's just like, and you being a graphic design person, you'll definitely appreciate some of the intros that come on the screen and stuff, like the style. It's like, wow, like that's definitely some Photoshop program that I've never heard of. So, but let's get into our next segment, the 1's and 2's segment. Again, guys, this is the 1's and 2's podcast with your boy DJ Kane. We got Chevy in the building. If you guys are listening to this on Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, watching on YouTube, because we're going to post a video up later, make sure to follow Chevy. She's a photographer based out in Dallas, Texas. All-inclusive weddings. That means it doesn't matter who you are. She can take your photos and give you the best quality, hands down. And she's in the building with us right now. Chevy, I'm going to put all of her information in the description, so make sure to check her out, please, because like she said, 2022, we're moving real fast. She's already getting booked up, so you better catch those dates while you can. So let's get into the 1 and 2 segment. So I'm going to say a couple of words, and you just tell me the first thing that comes to mind and why, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go. iPhone versus Android.
iPhone.
Okay. Is it just...
Like,
yeah. Now, you like it because the picture quality, too. Do you agree that it's better than the Android or what?
What's so funny, like, obviously, photographer, I should have the most up-to, like, things. I have the iOS that we're, like, I'm using right now. So, like, I can't say, like, oh, it's better. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, it's got a lot of the things that I've been using for years and years. But,
right.
I mean, even when I edit, it's not even an iMac. It's a Windows. So, like, out of everything in my life, this is the only thing that I have as an Apple.
Wow. I'll tell you, everything, if y'all come to my studio, everything we got in here is Appled out. You know what I'm saying? Shout out my boy. Who did Apple again? Steve Jobs? Yeah. I love you, Steve Jobs. Love you, boy. I'm crazy. I love Apple so much. I don't know why. I need to get off Apple. This is not a sponsored video, by the way, y'all. Just letting y'all know. All right. Photoshop versus good makeup.
Ooh, good makeup.
Good makeup.
A really good makeup artist, like, it can make my job so much easier. Like, it's very that I have to do any enhancements around the eyes. Like, having, and even airbrush makeup makes such a difference. So definitely, like, that over, because I can post an image straight without Photoshop because of the makeup. Not having to worry about anything. Everything looks flawless. Here you go, world.
Yeah, I see a lot of people using the Photoshop thing. And I'm like, well, I guess that's the new thing now. But, you know, when you're at weddings, do they still have, of course, they have the makeup artists on deck now. They still do that, right? Yeah, I've seen that too at weddings. But then a lot of my friends that do photography, they also edit. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure they had a makeup artist in the room, but they're still doing heavy editing on the. So you're definitely down with, you're definitely an advocate for just good makeup from the start.
Yes, I mean, get it on camera before you have to do anything after the fact.
Did y'all hear that? Get a good camera. Invest in some good equipment. I know we have these phones and y'all feel like y'all can just get the little whatever. Get some good equipment, because if y'all take this professionally, invest the money. The stuff's gonna pay itself off. You know, it really does. If you work at it. Okay, here's the next one. And you probably already know the answer to this one, but Burke Burnett, Texas versus Dallas, Texas.
I mean,
I didn't mean to crap on B-Town, but come on. This one just popped up on the list. I had another one too, but I don't think I'm going to ask that one. Texas versus Cali. Have you been to California for business or anything?
I have a lot of family that actually lives in California.
Okay, so we'll say Texas versus California. How do you feel about that?
It depends on which part you're mentioning there on California, because California's got those hillsides.
Yeah.
Like their possibilities that
we'll probably just stick with the the typical LA area where all the rich and famous people are at. So so what would you say? You'd say more Texas side, or you'd lean more on the adventurous side on Cali?
I would probably still do Texas side.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's home. We've been here for years.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. So you're so experienced in the game. Your products look amazing on your website. I love your work. So I know there's a lot of people that may be listening, watching it, may be interested in photography, or, may actually want to take it serious one day. So what bit of advice could you give them on just to start and get their head straight to get ready for a photography career?
I would say, first off, make sure if you wanted to, whether it's the video route or the photo route, make sure you have a camera that you can change lenses, and make sure it also can do, if you're doing video, make sure it has video capabilities. When I started, I had a Nikon. Oh gosh, it was just a point and shoot, kind of.
Okay.
I borrowed it from my parents, and I used that for like 2 years, and then I to a better Nikon, and the trade group. You don't have to buy things new. Don't put yourself in debt. Like, so many people will do that. Like, don't. If you're like in college, like you already have student loans. Like, don't put yourself anymore.
Please.
Make sure that, like, don't be afraid to ask, hey, can I intern with you? Are you looking for somebody to help? Anything, because we will definitely take you under our wing, like, oh, you want to be able to come to weddings and help fluff this dress, and, like, run around and try and make sure that we have all the other things that we need, like, right off the bat. Yeah, you gotta figure out real quick if you're going to like weddings or not. But,
yeah, they're not. Yeah, you'll see. And make sure you get an internship with her, and you'll definitely find out what a wedding is really like.
Yes, I mean, like, that can really change your mind really quick. Like, set it or so.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to do that. Yes, don't go to college. I'm that person that will say, don't go to college for photography, because you do workshops and classes, in your county, in your state, that will help you actually learn more than what you're learning in school. Like, I learned that and in my graphic design classes. So, like,
good point.
About going all the way to the biggest, baddest, like, colleges out there. Like, you can learn so much here in the area, wherever you are, and just still knock it out of the ballpark. I'm
telling you, I totally agree with everything you just said, especially that last point. Arts, I feel like photography, that's an art to me, right? Arts, musical arts, all that stuff. This might hurt people's feelings, but y'all go to these big universities, spend hundreds of thousands of money for a degree in that, when it's really not going to be as lucrative for you. If you don't know, we have a podcast called the Nitty Gritty Podcast, and we have an episode coming up the week after next talking about education. And one of the points I'm going to say on the podcast is that I really don't think people should go to universities, like a university, right? Unless you're trying to be like a doctor, a lawyer, maybe an engineer. I I would say business if it's like a technical, like accounting or something like that. Um, or I guess a teacher, right? Because I think teachers need to go to university. But other than that, I think that's it when it comes to like music photography or stuff like that. Even I'm gonna say even journalism now because journalism has shifted so. I have, man, I got nieces and nephews that blog and that have more followers than some news anchors. Like their friends have so many, and I'm like, these are the new journalists, and they just learned this just by seeing what people want to hear and just making stories out of it. No education at all. So yeah, definitely, shadowing people, just learning from experience, in my opinion, when it comes to this type of business, is the best form of education. So everything I learned in DJing, I went to an academy for DJing for a few months. After that, as soon as I learned how to turn on the turntable, I started shadowing DJs all over Austin, Houston, Dallas, and that's how I learned how to really get in tune with DJing. So it wasn't no university; it was the University of Life. So, Chev, oh, go ahead. Is there anything else you want to leave
Oh,
with us before we head out?
University of Life, like you get experiences from everyday moments.
Mm-hmm. Telling y'all, it's just, man, it's crazy, y'all. Oh man, I'm about to go off on this topic, but I can't because I have to save it for the podcast. But yeah, make sure y'all tune into the podcast, Nitty Gritty Podcast, shooting every Thursday. Episodes posted every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is not a TV network, but we got it on YouTube for everybody to see. So, Chevy, thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate you dropping some gems, sharing your experiences. Your business that's growing and growing and growing, and it's changing communities. It's making people happy and making people feel like they belong in a community that they should already belong to. So, this is good. I'm glad you came on with this, and make sure y'all check my girl Chevy out. She's a beast on the lens, and she's going to make your moments spectacular. So, Chevy, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you later. Have a good night.